Guys, what is up? So today we're going to be doing a little different video. If you saw my last video, I just got done repotting Northern Miss, but this is going to be the second video that I'm going to do for the day. But it's going to be how to take nepenthes main vine cutting. So I've shown y'all how I cut down my nepenthes ventrata, my ventricosa, and all those other main vines, but I never showed y'all how to actually take cuttings, or I didn't make a video on it. So today we're going to do a video on how to take nepenthes main vine cuttings. So what you're going to do first, get yourself a pot with some sphagnum moss. I wouldn't put perlite in it. Maybe like if you want to put the top part just pure sphagnum, then in the bottom put perlite. I don't. My conditions are too warm and just wasting water. But so what we're going to do is, now it's going to be painful. What you're going to do is you're going to sterilize your scissors first. Hold on. Sorry for the crappy angle, but I need two hands. So what you're going to do is, this is alcohol. Just going to get your scissors all nice and sterilized in there. And just gonna let that dry off for a little bit, and then we can finally cut. Because if you don't sterilize your scissors or your snips, you can get pests and other diseases and spread it around your plants, and that cannot be a bad, that can be a bad thing, or it is a bad thing. Moral of the story is sterilize your crap. Alrighty, so what you're gonna do is, this is the hardest part. What you're gonna do is you're gonna cut off any pitchers and tendrils. So I'm going to just take the main vine. I'm going to leave the basal shoot down here. So I'm going to cut right down here. I can take off some of these leaves so I can see what the heck I'm doing. This is a crappy angle for y'all, but okay, so there's a node right here, and this is where the main vine is. So I'm going to cut right above that. And this is the worst part, but you're just gonna, oh crap. Oh, and that's why you have sharp scissors, because that sucked. So now I'm gonna go around, I'm gonna cut off all these tendrils, cut off all the supports, and I'll be back to y'all. Okay, so now we have this big long vine with plenty of nodes on it. So I'm gonna go around, I'm gonna cut off these pitchers and any other tendrils real quick. Alrighty, now that we have the stem all nice and cleaned up, as you can see, after every leaf, there's a little node. There's some that have activated, there's some that have nothing. There's some that look like crap, that's probably thrips, and there's hair on some, gross. But we're gonna cut. So if I see a big node like this, there's two nodes right there, I'm gonna just cut the two leaves. But if there's no node, I'm gonna cut like one leaf right here and then the second leaf. And then I think if there's no nodes, I'm just gonna cut two leaves. But with this one, I'm just gonna cut, so my rule of thumb is two nodes depending on how big the vine is, but I'll cut back to it. Here's our first cutting. Let me get back to one. So here's our first cutting. As you can see, I snipped it at an angle, so there's more surface area for the plant to root at. And so yeah, and also whenever I pop these up, I'm gonna cut off part of this leaf right here. I might cut off some of this other leaf, but that's just to save space, because their big leaves don't really do anything. They're gonna die off anyway, so I'll cut back to whenever I have all the cuttings. All right, I'm filming with my right hand now, but as you can see, I cut it all up. If it'll focus, there we go. You can see there's some growth points. Another one down there. But I got the best ones, but like stuff like this one that was really tall and had that space between the leaves, I just threw it out. There's probably no point in it, and it's just eh. But I'm gonna get these potted up. All you do is just stick the cutted part, or the part that was facing downwards, into the soil or the moss, and they should root like that. That should be fine. I'm not using any like growth hormone or anything. I'm just gonna pot them in the moss and see what, I guess it's survival of the fittest. But I'll show y'all. So these big leaves, or these dying leaves right here, I'm gonna most likely cut those off. But if these leaves, like this really big one right here, I'm probably gonna trim that down, so that it'll give all the others a fair shot to root and get some sun. So I'll cut back to that. So this is what it looks like all potted up. I cut off some of the really big leaves because they'll just get in the way and they won't all fit. So I put all the smaller ones around. I try not to make any of the leaves poking out, because I'm gonna put it in this tray right here. And as you can see, everything's a little cramped. So there's really nothing to do. Just leave it there, give it a good soak. I'm gonna drown this along with the Brixiana. But yeah, this is how you take nepenthes vine cuttings. So yeah, this is what you're gonna be left with, and after a couple months, it should start to root. Things will start to grow. You'll see baby pitchers, and since these are main vine cuttings, they should have the upper pitchers of Bill Bailey, so they shouldn't have like the deep purple lowers. They should just have the nice highlighter green, but they won't be as big though. But yeah, that's just how I take nepenthes main vine cuttings, and I'll see you guys later.